Hello everyone, it's Crafty Carol here with another little video for you, and I've done a lot of preparation for this video because there's quite a lot of stuff going on, so bear with me. All the measurements are in the blog as usual, and I also have the American measurements thanks to Stamp with Tami, where I got the idea for the card from. I've just made things slightly different and adapted it to UK measurements. So I'm using for the sentiments today, I'm using this lovely Faith collection setting, which you'll see a bit more because I'm going to be using it for Easter cards very soon. But I like the let your faith be bigger than your fears, thinking of you. So that's what I've used for the cards. I've also used the free gems that we've got from, or will be using, the free gems that you get from Celebration, and the purple factor teasers, which are rather nice. They say they're purple. I think they're closer to pinks myself, but you can see them there, and they're just lovely. They have that lovely hexagon sort of top, a bit like a sequin, rather nice. And I'm using the Stylish Shapes dies. I'm using the set of squares. I'm using the biggest, second biggest, and third biggest for this card. You could use any nesting dies you wanted of any shape because it would actually work for this card. So there's quite a lot of bits, so I'll go through them. First, we're going to start with our normal card base. So this is 21 by 14.8, scored at 10.5. In inches, that's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. And then I have a layer piece, which is the normal layer piece. So this is 10 by 14.3 or 4 by 5.25. And then we have a piece of DSP. So I've used the Blooms DSP, which again is free with Celebration. Beautiful papers, all double-sided. Again, where are we? So we've got this lovely blue that matches these beautiful flowers. I've used these flowers. There's little flowers there and more sort of patchy flowers there. And this one is these sort of clumps of flowers with reeds plus a green background there. And the next one, lovely peach with yellow and peach flowers and green and peach background. A green one with, again, this lovely mix of flowers and a green background. Beautiful, beautiful papers. So this is the final one. I've used most of this, which is purple background with the purple flowers. That's the one I'm actually using today. With a mix of Blackberry Bliss and Petunia Pop. So I've used Petunia Pop for my card base and matched it with Bubble Bath because I love the mix of those. So this piece you need, this is 13.8 by 23.5. The card that Tami made had a much smaller front, and I will put her measurements in the blog, so you'll see those for inches, but I'm going to work in centimetres for UK cards. So this is 13.8 by 23.5, and I've actually done the scoring as well. So you want to score it from one end at, be careful, if it's directional paper, have it at the top when you start the scoring, the paper going top to bottom. So have the design the right way up if you're scoring. And you want to score at 3.5, 7, 10.5 and 14. And you're going to do it as an accordion fold. So this first, from the big panel, you fold a mountain, and then the other way again, so it folds an accordion fold like that. Okay. Now we can start by sticking all of these layers together. So I think Tami called this an accordion Z fold. I think it's a bit more complex than a Z fold card. I don't really think it's a Z fold. I'm just going to call it an accordion double fold really, and you'll see why in a minute. So we're going to start off just by sticking that down. Oh, there's another bit I need as well, which I nearly forgot. Ooh. Which is a piece of basic white. That's going to be for the inside. So that's the only thing we need for the inside. I didn't get that ready. So the DSP, now it's got its folds. We're going to stick just the back panel to the front of the card. I've got a sort of extra bit on mine because the first measurements I did weren't quite right. when you're working it out, and I should have used scrap paper, I didn't, but I've been able to use the DSP, which I'm happy about. So this goes here. I just use an extra piece of DSP stuck on the front, and that's fine. So layers as usual. So you've got this on the left-hand side. You want this to be on the bend of the card there. Just put that to one side for a moment. Then we want a couple of other pieces, and this piece, I've used Bubble Bath as my layer here again, and this piece is 7, pretty sure it's 7, you just quickly, yes, 7 by 15, scored at 7.5. So this isn't so important to be totally exact. You could do it square if you wanted, but you just want a card, and it's going to fold this way because we're going to stick this in like this, okay? So I'm going to do that now. Now the important thing is sticking it down. We're only going to stick it to this panel here, the second panel along, and the outside panel, and we're not going to stick very much of it. So you want to put just about a centimetre of glue on that, on either side of the inside. So for roughly a centimetre, measure it if you want, just put the glue on. Then I'm going to sit this so that it sits in the centre of my other panel here. Fold that over so it sticks down. Bring this across and fold that end over. Okay, so that is how the card opens and stands. I've got an idea about this, because the only thing is when it stands, obviously it's not going to stand entirely straight because this bit isn't as tall as this bit. So, and it's got quite a lot of weight on the front, so it will come down. So what I have done for that is that I've cut an extra bit of Bubble Bath card, and this one is 4 centimetres by 14.8, and I can stick that behind that, acts as a layer and doesn't add to the mix of the card, but it will help it stand up properly when it's displayed. So to fit this in, I'm actually going to put the glue on the back of this panel here. And I just think it helps it stand up a bit. So this is my adaptation of the original design, but I don't know, I just think that's nicer somehow. So I'm going to place that so that it's exactly equal top and bottom. And then, oops, into there. Make sure it's exactly equal top and bottom. And then I can just stick that down. And that just acts as a stand, if you like, for the rest of the card. So now we need various other bits, and these are the bits I've cut with the Stylish Shapes dies. So for the largest Stylish Shape dies, I've cut 2 from Petunia Pop, plus 1 of the second size of dies. Then I wanted 1 more of the second size in Bubble Bath, and a final one in Basic White, and you can see how I'm going to use them because I've already done the stamping on that one. So that's the second size. And then out of your designer series paper, you want just 2 more designs, just cut with the third one down of the dies. The third one, is it the middle one actually? 1, 2, 3, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no, so it's the, yeah, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's the middle one, the third one, whichever way you're counting it. So how these are all going together, the smallest one, the smallest one of the Petunia Pop is going to have one of my designs, and I think actually it might be that one I stick on. So I'm going to do that one first, put these together, and then show you how the rest of the card fits together. So I just want that again right in the middle, like that, and it'll actually be that way. And then for the front of the card, we're going to have layers. So I'm going to have the one you've cut from the Bubble Bath as my second layer on the front. Like that. And then my DSP piece in the middle of that. So So they're quite busy designs, these ones I've chosen. So I did want to make sure that I didn't use anything too busy, because this one is quite busy. I think probably I should have turned it over and used the back bit, but I'd already decided I want some decoration there. And then the final one, once you've done your stamping with any sentiment you want, is going to go on the back. Now be careful, you can see I'm using a scrap card. That was something I did before and decided I didn't want. Always use up my card, it's fine. So when you're stamping this, just be careful to stamp it diagonally, because these aren't going to be squares, they're going to be diamonds. And then finally, just on a little scrap of basic white, I stamped the thinking of you and just put it on a little mat of a scrap of Petunia Pop. So how this card goes together, we're going to start off by sticking the back one down first. This is the sentiment one that is going to go inside. The only thing with diamonds, it doesn't leave a lot of room for anything you want to say, which is fine, because we've got the inside of the card for that. So that will stick so that the point actually goes to the middle of that. Could measure this down actually, but I'm just going to do it by sight. I think that's about the middle. So the point goes in there, make sure it's straight and stick that down there. And the reason for sticking that down first is this one for the front, we want it to go on the top of there. Now the corners we don't want any glue on, so we're just going to put glue on the center bit without the corners, so not on the corners. So we're sort of going to put the glue like that. So we've just got a patch there in the middle, so be careful when you're gluing not to put the glue right out to the corners. And then I can lay it on top. Sorry, my head got in the way there a little bit. Just to line it up, make sure it's straight with the one underneath, and then stick that down. There we go. And this final one is just going to stick in here. And we can use this one as the guide to make sure it doesn't stick out too far. So again, we're going to make sure we don't put glue right on the points, because they'll stick out. We just want glue in the center bit. And then, ooh, which way around? Probably that way, for the pattern on the card is going to go there like that. There we go. So there is my card, more or less, whoops, made up. I haven't got the inside bit yet. So you can see how with the weight on here, without this extra solidifying bit, if you like, I think it's going to struggle. Just might trim that down very slightly actually. We've made it 4 centimeters. I think probably 3 3/4 is the right size. That's the bit the measurement I'm going to use in my blog. I'm just going to trim that off, that's better. Just a little tiny bit. That's better. There, that's better. So here's the base of the card, and then finally I'm just going to put this across the front. I'm going to use some dimensionals. You obviously can't use dimensionals inside. Yeah, I can get away with these big ones. If you can't use dimensionals inside the card because it would bulk it out too much. So I'm just going to have that, yeah, probably right across the middle, I think. You can put it wherever you want. There we are, thinking of you, let your faith be bigger than your fears. And then I have got room in here to write. I could write something on there, but I am going to use, where did I put them? These nice gems. Now, I think I can probably get away with a gem, or a couple of gems on here. So we are going to have a couple on there. I thought, no, do I use the darker ones? Yeah, probably do. So I'm going to have a couple of darker gems on here. I don't really want to put them here, there's too much bulk here, so I'm going to stick with them near the edges here. Like that. And these are quite flat gems, and that works okay because the bulk of this is equivalent to the bulk on that side. So we can have some gems there, and then on the front, I think we'll have, should we have some clear ones on the front? Probably, I think, just on here. There. And there is my card. The only thing I have to finish is a piece for the centre. There, which I'll stamp. It'll be in the blog what it'll look like at the end, but I'm not going to bore you with it now. So that is my diamond accordion card, I'm going to call it. A diamond accordion card. There we go. So I hope you like that. You like this card. It's a bit of fun to make. I have adapted it from Tami's original one, which is beautiful. Do go and have a look at that. And yeah, stampwithtami.com. Lovely American demonstrator. And yeah, I hope you have a go at this one. It's good fun. Thank you for joining me today. All the measurements in the blog. These things I've used, by the way, there's only this last couple of days of celebration left. So please, please, please do get an order in if you want some of these lovely free things. An item, you get something free for every £55. And don't miss the joining offer to get the Stampin' Right markers that I did the video about last week, the live about last week, with the various ways to use them. So thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.